What's going on YouTube? Once again on our consistency streak. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about how open wounds lead to open doors. And a lot of people don't necessarily know where their wounds originated from. So we always advise people going back and actually checking their foundation, whether that's from their childhood, family wounds, or from friends. It's always to find the root cause of these things in order to deal with them effectively.
Most people were scarred from their childhood, whether they dealt with rejection at school, whether those wounds came from their very parents, but that door for Satan to creep in was opened at that time.
And this is the most pivotal part. This is why we know it is important to deal with those wounds effectively. Because, in a sense, you're allowing for Satan to dig a tunnel into your life, and he's going to use it to his advantage.
I mean, think of it in a physical sense. You get injured, you get this wound, and if you don't clean it, it's prone to get infected. It's the same thing spiritually. When you're hurt or when you're going through something and you're wounded, if you do not effectively take care of it, it's going to show.
And the thing is, as that wound is showing, you are the only one who doesn't notice that it's showing. Everybody else will see you limping and wounded, but not yourself. You think you're doing a good job at playing it off, but in all actuality, you're just not dealing with it.
The very first step to healing is acknowledging the pain, is acknowledging the hurt, because a lot of times we like to smooth over what we've been through and kind of adapt this mindset of, well, life keeps moving. I don't have time to stop and feel sorry for myself. And we don't realize just how damaging that truly is.
There's a funny thing called well, it's not funny, but there's a thing called arrested development where your body continues to grow, but your mind continues to be stuck in that place of hurt. And that's the same way. So majority of us, we may look like older adults, but mentally, we're still those little children because we haven't dealt with those wounds.
Because most of the time, some of you have adapted this mindset to where you think that you don't care. And some of you, if this situation is brought up, you just break because you never healed from it, and you've just been lying to yourself for so long.
It's easy to continue to live in that lie, and that's where that's where his sweet spot is. Getting you to stay there, getting you to stay in a place of denial so you don't actually deal with the things that are needed. That's why Christ says that those things that are done in the dark will be brought to the light. And the reason why he brings things to the light is so they can be confronted. But another thing, a lot of people think when they get Christ, that's it. But in actuality, he's going to help you deal with those wounds. He's just not going to do it for you.
Matter of fact, when you come to Christ and you call yourself surrendering things to him, it's actually going to hurt a lot worse. I know a lot of times people think coming to Jesus is just this, everything is just gone and they don't have to deal with anything themselves, but it's the complete opposite. In fact, he will show you he will show you your wounds, what you're still holding on to, and what you haven't healed from. And if you allow him to, he will definitely help you through it.
That's all he wants to do. He doesn't promise to take the pain away completely, but what he will do is create for you to be stronger in the process. That strength is what's needed in order to deal with those wounds, and that's what he promises to provide. He won't always deliver us so easily. So like we said, the first step to healing is actually acknowledging where this stuff came from, because many of you have been called to marriages, to be married, or to be leaders, but those wounds will continue to show up.
Our title, Open Wounds, Open Doors. And the funny thing about it is open wounds can close doors as well. Just as my husband was saying, some of you were called to certain things, but because of those wounds, you ran away from them.
Or because of those wounds, you end up hurting the people who are actually sent to help you.
Your destiny helpers.
So you can be your worst enemy when it comes to these open wounds. That's where the open door aspect comes from. You self-sabotaging. You not believing you're enough. You allowing for Satan's words and the things that he's spoken over your life, the demonic things that has been prophesied over you, to be greater than what God is trying to do in the present.
I know for a lot of you, you end up resenting the people that did these things to you because you never dealt with that hurt, and you end up projecting it onto anybody that comes into your life because you think that they are the exact same way.
And the funny thing is, those people you end up resenting the most is who you become just like, because that's who you learned from. That's who taught you. And because you're so fixated on not being like them, that you're not even really working on yourself. So you're responding in the exact manner in which they did. That's why a saying goes like this: hurt people, hurt people.
And for those of you that are parents, whether you acknowledge it or not, you will bleed onto your children. If you have not healed from those wounds and those hurts, you are going to project those exact same things onto your children.
To add to that, just speaking in general, when you do not address those wounds, you will begin to bleed all over your life. You'll be just walking and there'll be a trail of blood behind you, just wherever you go, even bleeding on people and not even apologizing for it because you're so wounded.
Bleeding on people that didn't even hurt you. Bleeding on people that want to love you and want to do life with you.
But you will never be able to see it that way if you do not address the wounds.
I feel like for a lot of people, especially within Christianity, we are taught to, I want to say, just ignore the issues and the feelings that we have because Jesus overcame and we don't need to be sad and this and that and this and that. But the scripture tells us that there's a season for everything, and he also tells us to worship him in spirit and in truth. So if you're shoving your feelings down and acting as if they are not there and they don't matter, God is not pleased with that. In fact, he wants you to come to him with those feelings.
It's best they be addressed now or continue to be stuck in a cycle that he does not have for your life.
And a lot of you are in a constant state of fight or flight because you have not dealt with these things.
So with that being said, you guys, it's important that you actually take a look into your life and go back to your foundation and address the things that need to be addressed. Peace.